Konnichiwa! Welcome back to the Retro Game Boy Show. My name's Mike and I'm a AAA games developer by day, but at night I love my retro gaming. Now I'm in my 20th year of working in the games industry and I've worked with some massive companies like Sony PlayStation, Microsoft Xbox and Ubisoft. And working for those big companies came some pretty awesome perks. One was free games. Both Sony and Microsoft would give their staff free games that they published on their platforms. The other was access to consoles. Now Microsoft were awesome. They gave their staff new consoles whenever they came out. With Sony PlayStation, you had to buy them. Now you got them at a discount, but you still had to buy them, except for one console. The first console and only console that Sony PlayStation gave away to their staff was this. The Sony PSP, the PlayStation Portable. It's its 15-year anniversary in North America and Europe. And we're going to unbox this, my original PSP that Sony PlayStation gave to me. Game on! If you're new to the Retro Game Boy channel, then you may want to consider subscribing by clicking on a little button down here somewhere. And if you love your retro gaming, then why not drop a thumbs up on the video? Now the PSP is one of my best handheld game consoles for playing old retro games on. It had an awesome indie dev scene on there which allowed us to do things like change the wallpapers before the feature even came out and add custom emulators to play our old video games. Now I actually managed to get hold of a PSP about 3 months before they were given out to the public. It wasn't this one, this is the one that Sony PlayStation gave to us to keep, but several senior members of every studio got to take home a PlayStation Portable and try it out for a few weeks to think about what kind of games they could develop for it. Now I had it for about 2 weeks and I was allowed to kind of have it out in public. It was public knowledge that the console was coming out then. But I definitely noticed people staring at me as I played Ridge Racer on this awesome screen with this awesome console. It was a real head turner back in the day. Now it came as a massive surprise when Sony announced that they were going to give these away to us as Christmas presents just before the console was going to be released. It was the first console that Sony PlayStation had given away for free. All the others we've had to pay for. And our colleagues in Microsoft have been getting consoles since their very first launch for free. So this was an awesome gift to receive from Sony PlayStation. It also came with a huge library, about 30 games at the launch of the PSP. And working at Sony PlayStation, we were able to get the games for about £15. That's about $17 a game. And so I stocked up on nearly every single launch title when it first came out. And there were some stunning ones, including my all-time favourite, Wipeout Pure.
Ready. Go.
Well, the console's 15 years old this year, and I thought to celebrate we'd go back and unbox this PSP. Now I haven't opened this, I actually boxed this up about 5 years after the PSP came out. I didn't really have a need for it anymore as I'd got myself a PSP Go and I had a PSP 2000 and 3000 as well. So I was well covered for consoles. And so for the first time in 10 years, we're going to be opening up my original launch console that was gifted to me by Sony PlayStation. So that's enough blah, let's go check out the console itself. Now we were given the PSP value pack, but we were also given this cool little UMD disc holder here. And actually inside of my disc holder here, I have a couple of games that are pre-release. And I used to get these from our marketing teams to just try out. So we have Jack and Dexter there, The Lost Frontier, Passport to Rome, and then SOCOM Fireteam Bravo. And then I think I got some other loose games that marketing used to drop my way, which is very, very cool. Another cool thing about this box that not many people know about, this little flap here, I asked our marketing team, is like, why didn't you just build the box so it had a straight edge here? What's this flap here for? And essentially it was so that distributors and stores could push a game through the flap here and that would sit inside there and they could include boxed in games when they were selling the console. Whether anyone did this or not, I'm not sure, but quite a cool little idea. So let's open it up. You can see my box is in pretty good condition. And this box is pretty much how you would have found it when you opened it up for the first time. Now we got these special Sony branded wrist straps here. There's the PSP demo disc, which I think has got Spider-Man 2 on, or like, I think it's Spider-Man 2 movie trailer on there, and I think a couple of games. And there's a 2.0 update, so a day one patch for the PSP. Then I have this little note which came with all of our PSPs. It's from Sony. Thank you for your hard work and dedication in helping us launch the PlayStation Portable. Now it's time to spend a few hours or days enjoying it. David Rees and Ski Management. Then we've got our materials and the memory card over here. This is actually a 2 gig memory card, which back in the day cost an absolute fortune. And we've got our PSP sign up, which I don't think I did. We've got some kind, I can't remember what that's for, unique network access code. That doesn't work anymore. Then obviously some manual stuff, some more Sony manual stuff, the actual PSP manual, and then some warning paraphernalia. This is my completely unused case that I got with it, the plastic sleeve. I bought a stronger one rather than the kind of flimsy one that we have here. So that one was mint for me. I think I took it out once to have a look at it. Maybe I didn't actually. Maybe that's actually how it came. But that was cool as well. Really nice to see Sony giving away extra stuff with their consoles. Now you could buy the PSP without any of this stuff, without the extra packaging, without the memory card, but I doubt many people did that. And then into the guts itself. And what we have here is the PSP power pack and earphones. And there's an extra little thing in there that I picked up at my time at Sony. So this is the console, earphones. This is the earphone switch. This is very cool. You could fast forward, stop, put the volume up, hold. This is really awesome. Nice little gadget they gave you with it. Then this little thing here you wouldn't have got. This is the PSP GPS system. And if we take this out here, this is the UK power brick that you got with the console. And then finally, opening this up here, you would have got the console inside. There it is. Absolutely amazing bit of kit. I loved my PSP. Now I doubt I've got any charge in there. No, there's no charge in there. I think we should charge this up, play a couple of games as well. But fantastic piece of kit here, especially if you're into your retro gaming. As soon as the hacks came out for it, you could start playing your old console games on here. It just made it one of the best handhelds out there. So here is just some of my PSP collection. Now we're going to boot up the PSP now for the first time in maybe 10 years, and we'll try out one of the games on it. Now the PSP had some fantastic games on there. Of course, Wipeout Pure, one of my favorites. We've got Siphon Filter, Logan Shadow there. Brilliant, brilliant game if you've not played it before. Metal Gear Acid 2. This is the version that comes with 3D glasses that you put over the console. We've got Tekken Dark Resurrection. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories was phenomenal. Crazy Taxi, this is a sealed copy. I have an unsealed copy as well, which I play. Love that game. The Amazing Ridge Racer. This sold units. Just a brilliant game. Little Big Planet. Not too many people happy with the implementation of this, but I really enjoyed it. White Knight Chronicles. Dungeons and Dragons Tactics. God of War. Patapom. Killzone here. We've got Power Stone down there as well. Patapom 2. Just a brilliant console. And then when you factor in the fact that you could mod it and add your own console emulators on there, it was just stunning. Nearly 15 years ago, Sony set the way for handhelds of the future by introducing a console that was as good as a standalone full-fat console that you would find under your TV. Experiences like Wipeout that you wouldn't have been able to play on a standard handheld at this kind of fidelity. Games like Grand Theft Auto Liberty City with the huge scale of that game. Siphon Filter mimicking games like Splinter Cell, which you could only play on the next gen consoles. The PSP was a revolution, and for a console that's 15 years old, it stood up pretty well. I hope you enjoyed that unboxing of the original PSP that I got from Sony PlayStation. And if you're a PSP owner or someone who loved the PSP back in the day, then make sure you let me know in the comments below what your favourite games were, the things you enjoyed about the PlayStation Portable. Remember, you can always get more retro gaming content and gaming content here on the Retro Gamer Boy Show by clicking on my little pixel head below. And we'll have a brand new video for you same time next week. But if you can't wait until then, you can always check out one of these two videos over here.